What's up, everybody? And you know what? I'm actually here with a special video today. I'm sure everybody knows what's going on right now in the news, especially in the world of WWE, and that's the releases. And I know I'm late on this by whatever the time this video comes out, but I got a few things I want to say about the multiple releases that happened over the weekend within WWE since Friday. And I'm gonna give my thoughts on what I think about these releases, and may see what's gonna happen with some of these people. So it's going to be a list to go through. I'm going to actually read the individuals first that did get released before I give my thoughts on them. So let's kind of go through the people that did get released since Friday. The following names that got released from WWE are Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Kyrie Sane, the Motor City Machine Guns of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, Santos Escobar, Apollo Cruz, Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, Dexter Loomis, and Eric Rowan, which is basically all the Wyatt Six. Zoe Stark, Alba Fire, Andre Chase, Dante Chen, Tyson DuPont and Tyke Igwe, Luca Crucifino, Tyra May Steele, Malik Blade, Chris Island, Serena Linton, Trill London, and Francois Prinsloo. So, yeah, those are the following people that did get released from WWE. So, I got a few things I want to say about this. So, let's kind of kick it off. And I'm going to be talking about some of these people within groups, kind of grouped together. So, let's start off with Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. Now, Aleister Black, which is kind of crazy, the day he got released, he was one day away of when he returned from over a year ago. And Black had only been back with the company for like about a year. Am I a little bit surprised he did get released? Yes, because they literally just brought him back last year. And the only thing I can really remember what he did throughout his entire time within WWE, I know they brought him back. He was going against Miz and Mello at first, and then he was in this forever feud, it felt like, with Damian Priest that was just not really all that. And then they put him with his wife, Zelina Vega, which basically they became a carbon copy of Cross and Scarlett's gimmick that they even recycled the Sami Zayn storyline with Cross and Scarlett were doing many months ago in that time period. So it was literally the same gimmick to what they were doing. Um, like, so I am a little bit surprised Black got released. I didn't think he was going anywhere, to be honest. I didn't. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to point out, like, well, he's a Triple H guy, NXT, Black and Gold. But, we could say that about a lot of people that were rehired the second time in his company and were let go again, even with Triple H in charge. Because a lot of people were brought back, were from, NXT, and some say that weren't given a chance. And Black basically, like I say, kind of had like this whole devil's advocate thing going on, even going in the back, telling Sammy, like, you should be angry, just kind of walking around him and Scarlett, just kind of trying to mess with people and whatnot. Um, I think the last thing I remember him doing, I think he was in that Andre the Giant Battle Royale a week before. So, yeah, and then again, a lot of these releases usually happen, post WrestleMania. But yeah, I think he was in that Battle Royale. I'm sure a lot of people kind of thinking, where is he gonna go next? Some are saying AEW, but apparently a lot of people aren't really, warm of letting him back in AEW. I know we've seen a few AEW people online say something about it. Now, apparently, he did not want to do jobs in AEW, especially before leaving. And I know he said that didn't happen, but I know it was like a whole story about that going on at the time before he went back to WWE. And I don't know if he will go back to AEW. I know Andrade came back there when he left and came back again. Do I think it's gonna happen the same thing with Black? I'm not sure because it doesn't look like people want him there apparently. And I think a lot of people said about Rusev too. He didn't want to do jobs before leaving. And I think I've discussed this with other people in a way. And a lot of people pointed out that you know they rather do jobs for Triple H than job for like whatever Tony Khan was doing. So yeah, apparently people don't want him back there. I don't know where he'll go. Maybe he go to TNA. Maybe he go to New Japan. I'm not really sure. And given his wife is with him now, Zelina Vega, and this I think Vega's second time around the company too. Because remember, I think she was gone. I think it had to do with that whole Twitch thing from a few years ago. But they brought her back, and like I said, she was with her husband. I know she kind of got mad online about about the release thing. Not the release thing of her getting released herself, but like, a lot of the news sites are like, so-called journalists reporting the news, which basically she told, what Shamrock Sap there to go fuck himself. On one hand, I don't blame her because Sap is a goofy, and I'm sure a lot of people on the internet know that. So points to her about that. But here's the thing though I gotta say. you can't get mad if it's a group of people that got released, and wrestling websites and a lot of people are going to report this on the news. Apparently he said he wasn't even going to apologize to her. I think there's already like a standing beef between both of those two, so I think they already been back and forth with each other before. But it's like you can't get mad because it's like everybody's going to report this online, like everybody, like wrestling websites, journalists, or whatever. It happens all the time when people get released. But I guess she felt she wanted to say it on her own about being released. And yeah, a lot of wrestlers have talked about, hey, I'm not going to be, I got released and everything. They say it on their own. But it's just, like I said, she was grouped in a group name with a lot of people. So I was like, you can't really get too mad at that. But like I said, they already kind of got beef anyway, so they don't fuck with each other. But like I said, points to Vega, just for saying that in general, because Sap is a goofy. But yeah, other than that, let's kind of move on from there. Kyrie Sane, I am surprised she got released. Given they just had a whole active storyline going on with Asuka and EO, and this thing been going on for months. We've seen Asuka say Kyrie and the old Kabuki Warriors and the Senpai thing, and it looked like it was going to end up with Kyrie Sane standing up to Asuka because they literally had a match last Monday in a tag team. I know that, and I thought that was going to happen. So I was a little bit surprised Kyrie got let go, and apparently I know there were like chants on Monday, it just happened that we want Kyrie. Listen, I don't think this is gonna be like a true R-Truth situation. Okay, R-Truth, and my friend said it best. The people weren't really even reacting to Kyrie like that beforehand. It's just now everybody's standing up and pissed off that she got released. Like, this isn't an R-Truth situation, even though I still think that was a shoot then turned into a work. But I don't think this is like the same ball play with this. Um, I'm not sure where Sane will go. Maybe she goes back to Stardom, maybe New Japan, maybe AEW. I don't know, but I was kind of surprised that given she was in an active storyline, they just kind of let her go out of the blue. So yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by that. The Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. Listen, I love the Motor City Machine Guns. They're one of my favorite tag teams of all time, and I've watched them for a long time. And, them in WWE, let me just be honest, they just weren't over. Okay, they were not over. They may have been over like that first week and they won the tag titles, but it looks like it just went down after that and nobody cared. Hey, we had this discussion before, maybe about a year ago during a Royal Rumble review. And my friend Shaggy said it best. It's like if you were putting the Motor City Machine Guns against DIY, maybe on Black and Gold NXT, or maybe 5-10 years ago, if this was on Ring of Honor or TNA or even AEW or something, crowd would have went nuts for this match. But I remember that Royal Rumble and nobody cared. And it just like the Guns, there were times I forgot the Guns were still around. It's like they were kind of hot for 1 second, and then it's like they were not over when they came out. They were just kind of around. They were doing comedy segments with R-Truth in the back. I know they were like standing around Gargano when he's like laying on the ground and stuff. And I don't know. Some say they're gonna have the Guns turn on each other. I'm not sure that was gonna happen. Some believe that the Motor City Machine Guns may have came to the WWE a little bit too late at this time. You think everybody would I guess everybody just don't even know the Guns or didn't really care about the Guns like that. Some say the fans weren't really appreciative of them and stuff. So could they have came to WWE too late? Because I remember I had this conversation with somebody and they even said like maybe if they came like the same time AJ Styles came, they would be like really big, kind of like him. I'm not sure, but I could see at least they would get bigger reactions than if they came at that point in time. So the Motor City Machine Guns to me, like they will be okay. They can go anywhere. Then again, the last time they were in AEW, I can't say they really did much. They were there like one time, and I think they was like tagging with Jay Lethal at the time, and I don't think fans really were over with them there. They will probably may go back to TNA again. I can honestly see that happening. Maybe New Japan, like I said, maybe AEW, Ring of Honor, or then again, Ring of Honor, AEW is basically the same thing. But um, the Guns, I feel like will be okay. They'll end up anywhere, the Motor City Machine Guns. But as in their WWE run, there's not much to say about it. Like, they won the tag titles. I'll give them that. I hated their theme song, by the way. That whole raise your fist, raise your fist, That song really sucked. Okay, that song sucked. But I don't know, man. I just feel like the Guns weren't over. Like, they just weren't. And it's like it was hot when they came in, and it's like nobody cared after that. And the reactions really showed if you really look on SmackDown a lot. But next, Santos Escobar. Okay, now this is a crazy story with him. Now his contract came up before, and he was gonna leave and apparently go to AEW. But I guess he wanted more money, or WWE offered him more money, and they did, and they signed him to a new deal. And then I heard he was down there in AAA then, because I don't know what. Then again, I don't even know what he was doing on the main roster before. He was with those Legato guys, and then they just kind of disappeared. And then I think they were on AAA, but then he was gone. And then I heard he came back. They put him on AAA. I think he got injured on that. I don't watch AAA. I don't know what's going on in that show. I just know he was sent down there. Um, I do think it's kind of crazy that, it's like some of my friends, like, they hired him back just so they could fire him to make sure, even though he was gonna go, like, he really was gonna leave. So I don't know what he did down there in AAA. I honestly don't know. Then again, I'm like, they signed him for more money. It's like, I don't know if he went to the main roster, like he wasn't really over on the main roster before. Would he have gotten over if they just brought him back like that? I'm not sure. So he can end up anywhere. Maybe he really will go to AEW this time. Hell, Lucha Underground is apparently coming back, so he could be King Cuerno again for all I know. But yeah, Santos, that's a weird case right there, because just given how the timeline, if you really look at it, Apollo Crews, and I gotta give Apollo Crews credit. He lasted over a decade in the company. And I forgot he was even there half the time. The last time I really saw him do anything really important like that in WWE, when he was doing that Nigerian gimmick a few years ago, and when they sent him back to NXT, and then he could see into the future like he was That's So Raven or something. And I think I just only seen him recently on SmackDown. Like, I don't watch main event, so I can't comment on that. But apparently he's on main event to people I know that watch main event. And SmackDown, he just kind of start popping up on there nowadays. So I'm like, shit, you still work here? I forgot he worked. Some say he's like JTG. He avoided so many releases and so under the radar, you really forgot he was even there. Maybe WWE remembered he was actually there this time and let him go. So I'm honestly surprised he lasted this long, because I really forgot where he was. I don't know where he'll end up. He can end up anywhere, but Apollo Crews, I just forgot he was around after a while. It's like he just pop up and then disappear. You forget he was gone. So I don't know. He'll probably end up anywhere. So we'll see. The entire Wyatt 6. Man, let me say this about the Wyatt 6. Okay, it started off hot. They did that whole murder thing on Raw, and then the stuff with Chad Gable, and then it's like they was going against Cross and them, and then they got quietly moved to SmackDown, and then they like beat up the tag teams on there. Won the tag titles, I believe. I think they had that TLC match last year at SummerSlam. Um, what else? I think, and honestly, look at the entire group. I don't even know if Nikki Cross ever did. Maybe she did a match. I'm not even sure Nikki Cross even had a match on there. But it's like they spent most of this time fighting Solo and Crew, the MFTs, and they had that street fight over a week ago on SmackDown. Because let's be honest, they were fighting over a lantern for several months, and I guess the tag titles. I think they were the tag champions. I don't even know. They probably were, but they were fighting over a lantern for over a few months now, and it's like, why are we still doing this? And let me be honest about the whole thing with the Wyatt 6. Okay, listen, a lot of people look at this as a cash grab, kind of cash on Bray Wyatt's death. I think they were basically Slipknot on there. Some say a Bray Wyatt tribute band. I know they had got some type of something at a theme park at Universal Studios. They got a whole section for it, which I heard was actually really good. But I gotta be honest, when it comes to just this whole gimmick, yeah, I was trying to give it a chance, but it was gonna fall into the old tricks like before. And the thing with Bo Dallas is like this: he ain't his brother. He ain't Bray Wyatt. And let me be honest, I was no big fan of Bray Wyatt like that. Everybody knows how I feel about the Funhouse match. I was no fan of it. And I wasn't really the biggest fan of the Fiend gimmick and whatnot either. I liked the cult leader until they messed that up. But listen, I was really not no big Bray Wyatt fan like that. But here's the thing, he is not his brother. See, it worked for Bray Wyatt from his mind. Okay? It worked from his mind in a way. That's why he got over with a lot of his stuff. Really creative guy. Me, was I biggest fan of all the stuff? Not really. But there's a reason why the stuff worked for him, because it came from his mind and he got over with it. Some people believe that people was just really still going to cheer for this and doing the Fireflies out of respect and tribute for Bray Wyatt. So I don't know how far this gimmick was going to go, especially just being the whole spooky thing and all that stuff. But like I said before, Bo Dallas ain't his brother. He ain't Bray Wyatt. He's just not. Like, they just, like I said, it's a reason why it worked because it came from Bray Wyatt's mind. So I don't know how far this gimmick was ever gonna go. I don't even know where all these guys are gonna end up going. I have no idea. The jury's out on that one. So especially if they stay as a group or individually, but I will admit I was surprised that the entire group was let go. I didn't think all of the Wyatt Six were gonna get let go. Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark, the last time I even remember seeing Zoe Stark, she got hurt on Raw. I think it was like her knee or ankle in a triple threat match, and it was really bad too. Now, apparently that they recently medically cleared her, but they still let her go. That's kind of crazy. They just medically cleared it and then let it go because I kind of wonder what Stark was. Like I said, I knew she had a really bad injury for the longest of time, but I do think it's kind of crazy that she was there and then what now the story is that she just got medically cleared and let go. That's kind of wild if that's true, but um. Because I was like, when they released Stark, I'm like, ain't Stark still hurt? She been gone for a while, but like I said, apparently she was medically cleared. But kind of crazy. Alba Fire, Kaylee Ray there. Listen, man, the only thing she had been really doing was just being part of Chelsea Green's Secret Service thing. So I know Piper Niven is hurt, and now I guess Chelsea Green has no security force now. But I don't know what else they would have done with Alba Fire. Like she been doing this whole security thing for like over a year or two now. Let's remember they released a tag partner before Isla Dawn, the whole unholy union and the witch thing and all that stuff. And then they let her go. I thought they were gonna give her a singles run there with Alba Fire, but they threw her Chelsea Green and just be part of a Secret Service agent and whatnot. So I guess Chelsea has no Secret Service agents anymore, so that's gone. Um and whatnot. Andre Chase. Chase, the whole Chase University. When I first saw that, I thought this looked really silly. And honestly, how far was it really gonna go on NXT? To be honest, I thought this was gonna fail. But to be fair, he got it over on NXT. He did, and it worked for him. I don't know how well it would have worked on the main roster, but he did get it over in NXT with the whole Chase U being like a school and all that stuff. And kind of crazy, like mostly every member of Chase U had been released now. What not Dante, Duke Hudson, I think it was like some Osborne dude, but then again, it's almost like they had Chase U and then they had Rich Holland ended, and then they looked like they kind of brought it back, but it just kind of fizzled out then after. And like I said, it's like the only like member that's left that's still on NXT is DL, the old scrappy dude there. So she's still there. I don't know what she's really doing. The last time I really heard what she was doing was what going online, and I thought it was like a promo at first. She had made some video and everything. I think going at fans or something. I actually thought it was a pretty good promo. But then apparently it was real, and I guess she fed the trolls then, and which I think is kind of funny that her gimmick is supposed to be a grown ass woman, but it's like you have to treat her like a little kid all of a sudden, which is kind of odd in a way. So I didn't know where she was going. Like I said, apparently that was all a shoot. I thought it was a promo at first, but I don't know. Odd stuff coming from her with that. But like I said, she's the last one going. But Andre Chase, we'll see what happens next with him. Dante Chen, I only remember he was kind of in the beginning stages of NXT 2.0, and they looked like they were going to do something with him, but I don't know, it just kind of stopped after, so I didn't know if he was still around, so I don't have much to say about him. Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igwe, I think they was those two dudes with Desmond Xavier, like those two big guys. They were with, Wesley, Desmond Xavier, then Desmond Xavier ended up being gone, and he went back to TNA, and we know he's in AEW now, so I just remember those guys being behind him, but then they just kind of disappeared once he was gone from the company then. Luca Crucifino, he was with Tony D'Angelo and the whole Mafia thing, like the lawyer, but then when the whole lawyer, Mafia thing ended, the last time I heard about him, he was on Evolve, and now looking like Scotty Too Hottie. I thought he was doing Scotty's gimmick, and apparently he was like a raver or something. I had saw one video about that, and I say, I don't think this is gonna go out well. And I see it must have didn't go out well then, because he was with Tony's the whole family and stuff. But now, but like I said, now just what can I say? Um, he just he gone. So, but then again, like given the gimmick they gave him, I'm like, how far was that gonna go? Tyra May Steele, I know she like came from the Olympics and whatnot, and I remember seeing her on NXT with what was dude? They had a tag match on NXT one time against Ethan Page and Chelsea Green. Um, damn, what's the dude's name? He's like an Olympic athlete himself too. Um, damn, I can't remember the guy's name to be honest. He was with the quarter catch crew guys with Regal's kid there. Damn, I really can't remember his name. Shit, I really can't. Damn, I really can't remember his name. But my point being, is that yeah, I just remember on there. Then somebody told me she was on Evolve then, so I don't know what happened after that then. So I'm just don't really know. Malik Blade, I only remember him with Idris and Nofe, and they were a team on NXT. And it looked like they were gonna do something with him, but then it just kind of stopped and they just disappeared then. So I don't. I guess it's part of it didn't get released, but Malik Blade got released. Chris Island, Serena Linton, Trill London, and Francois Prinsloo. I don't know nothing about them. I never seen them, so I don't really have anything to say about those guys because I don't even know who they are. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the releases. I don't know where all these guys are gonna go. Maybe they go to AEW or New Japan or TNA or I don't know JCW for all I know. Whatever things are the company or the indies or something. I'm not sure. But I guess all we can do is wait and see. But other than that, that's my thoughts on the recent WWE releases, and we'll see what happens next with a lot of these guys and see where it goes. But other than that, I'm out of here. I'll see you then. Peace out.